What's up guys, Rich Duperbash back in the shop, and I'm super excited to share this new release with you from ARRMA RC. Huge shout out also to Horizon Hobbies for sending me this and giving me the opportunity to share it with you guys. What you're looking at is the all new ARRMA 4S Outcast stunt truck. ARRMA is definitely known for listening to the bachelor community and just constantly innovating with their new products. It's definitely been a long wait for this 4S line to return, guys, but I'm super excited. Big thanks to ARRMA for always listening to bachelor feedback and actually searching it out to improve their stuff. Today I'd just like to share my first impressions with the truck and kind of go over some of the nice changes they made. First thing I noticed out of the box, guys, is the size. This thing is super impressive. Definitely longer, about an inch longer and about 2 inches wider than the original version. You'll see in comparison to one of my 6S rigs, this thing is almost exactly the same length and stance. Here's a side-by-side from the top with my Lighten 6S, but you'll notice the trucks are pretty much the exact same stance, basically the same wheelbase and the same width. The key difference is the 4S is definitely, it's about 2+ pounds lighter than the 6S. Definitely does not need 6S power to get moving. These trucks absolutely rip on 4S. You'll see in comparison to my V1 Creighton 4S, it's just a tad shorter, but definitely has a much wider stance. The other thing I couldn't help but notice right out of the box is just how absolutely gorgeous this truck is, guys. Once again, ARRMA absolutely nailed it with the styling on this sucker. For those of you that think the 4S line is in competition with the 6S line, it really isn't. This sucker is a completely different experience, much lighter, accelerates awesome, doesn't require the same power, very modular design, smooth drivetrain, just an absolute pleasure to wrench on. Quick scan of the box, absolutely gorgeous. Again, they're calling this a 10th scale, even though it's basically 8th scale size. The difference is they've made some massive improvements for this 4S line. Quick shot of the side, you'll see the vehicle specs are here. The length is over 20 inches, height almost 9 inches, width almost 18 inches, and weight just over 9 pounds. So this guy comes with the SLT3 radio. You got the Spectrum SR315 receiver, S652 waterproof all metal geared servo, 120 amp Firma ESC, and then you've got the Spectrum 3668 2400 kV brushless motor. Obviously you're going to need your own AA batteries and you'll need your own lipos. And here's the maximum battery dimensions. You've got 156 by 51 by 48 millimeters, and the minimum battery specs are 5000 milliamp 35C. Pan to the other side, you'll see they got the big longer and stronger on here. This sucker's got taller towers, longer metal bodied shocks, nice front bumper and skid. Comes with all new axles and 17mm wheel nuts, which is super cool. All metal castellated slipper. This one's got a nice lock nut on it to keep that slip intact. Now comes with new EXP CVD style drive shafts front and rear. All metal input and ring gears. New wheelie bar with rubber wheels. You've got adjustable body mounts. Again, aluminum shock bodies with definitely more travel. Definitely way beefier A-arms, both front and rear. Adjustable sliding motor mount, and this sucker's got front and rear sway bars as well. You'll see you've got two color options. You'll get the bronze that I've got, and then you've got this nice blue down here at the bottom. Lastly, quick pan on the far side. You'll see they definitely did better sealing for the slipper assembly. The steering now has more clearance for stones and debris. All rubber sealed bearings, and lastly, all metal geared diffs. The truck comes with a technical pack that's got the entire schematic as well as a get started manual. You've got this cool little wrench. It's got like maybe 5 different tools built into one, and then some shock spacers and Allen keys. Quick shot from the bottom. You'll notice the A-arms are far beefier than the first version, with it's got captured shock rod ends built in. Obviously, you've got a composite chassis. It looks like this sucker's been reinforced right up here in the back. I'll have to flip the truck over again, but notice the beef on the rear arms as well. You'll notice as soon as you take the lid off, the front and rear towers are definitely much taller, way more stroke in the shock. These are feeling really nice out of the box. You'll notice ARRMA went with steel CVDs both at the hub and at the diffs. With the longer towers and shocks, there's definitely tons of ground clearances, pretty much at the 6S level, but you'll see how plush these suckers are. Another nice tip with these shocks, because ARRMA went with a longer shock length, taller tower, now the Creighton or Outcast 6S shocks are pretty much a direct swap. I found through the years, the only thing you need is these little axial shock bushings. The part number is AXA 1356. These little silicone shock bushings are a perfect fit. The other thing I can verify is because they're using the same motor plate as the last edition, this M2C Racing 7075 brace system, it's basically kind of a chassis support and supports the whole front of the motor plate. Essentially, it supports the rear portion of the chassis as well as it takes all the motor strain off the plastic slipper housing. You'll see ARRMA revamp the whole battery tray and the strap system. There's definitely way more room in here. Really nice touch in the front. They did a full height little plastic support piece. I'll probably insert some foam in there just to kind of snug things up. You'll notice they added this rear arm in the back for full support of your packs. But what's super trick, it's actually on a hinge. That way you can slide this sucker out. You can go ahead and unbolt and remove your red block and get your whole slipper assembly. Super simple. You'll notice the battery straps also have these little plastic loops to go ahead and hold onto your cables. So I found with my V1 Creighton, the stock electronics at this size at the 3668 motor and 120 amp ESC really have plenty of power for the size and weight of this truck. It is nice though, there's plenty of space here if you want to go with a slightly longer motor or even mount 150 amp ESC on here. I should mention I've already actually pulled out my slipper assembly, and this is just a mod I learned from my buddy Larry online. I just basically put a little relief hole right underneath where the spur gear goes. Basically this is just a little escape for dust and debris and just helps your bearings last longer. So like previous models, this has a tower to tower brace, but what's absolutely ingenious about this is this has a little foam piece and it's actually telescoping. So if you do gnarly nose plants, this will actually absorb a lot of the impact along with the chassis flex. One of my favorite features about the 3 and 4S line is actually this telescopic center drive shaft. This thing is super trick. All you have to do is pull this baby out. It's spring loaded, makes it super easy to get to your gears, to get into the slipper box, remove everything as a module, change out your pinion, service your bearings. I found these suckers are butter smooth, and then the fact that it's telescopic is just perfect, because if you have a hard hit and you're having lots of chassis flex, you don't have to worry about bending any center dog bones. Only other change I've done to the truck is it came with this 13 tooth pinion, and I went ahead and I put in a 15T. I just found that with my V1 Creighton this gear was pretty much perfect. Obviously the truck still comes with adjustable steel toe links front and rear. You'll notice ARRMA actually reinforced the rear portion of the chassis right at the bulkhead as well. The rear wing mount's definitely a huge improvement over the previous version, and you'll notice on the wing this is a nice touch. They went ahead and put these little skid studs at the very top. Both the rear bumper and the wing mount feel super stout. I'm digging my thumbs in here pretty good, guys, and the way they bolted everything together and bolstered their wing mount is pretty awesome. Once again, guys, these are the Debut backflip LPs, or otherwise known as the 4S backflips. They'll actually take 6S power. I'm running this on my Sledge, my Italian, a few other rigs. But again, big props to ARRMA for upgrading to just kind of a standard 17mm hex. This is definitely a huge improvement over the last style. Again, guys, I'll share more details about the truck as I go along and learn more about it. But I will say my first impression is ARRMA absolutely nailed it with the improvements and the overall stance and size of this sucker. Overall, I am super impressed with what I'm seeing. Again, huge shout out to both ARRMA and Horizon Hobby for sending me this. I feel super privileged and honored. Just gonna have to get this sucker out, hopefully to the skate park, get it out in the dirt, obviously. We're actually having a major heat wave right now, so I might pass today, but I'm definitely excited to get this baby out in the next few days. All right, guys, time for a quick maiden run. Basically just gonna do a shakedown out here, get used to the handling. Definitely a little breezy, don't let that fool you. It's 102 degrees, so I'm not sure I'll be out here too long. Just want to get used to the truck and see how this sucker handles. I went ahead and just finished my throttle setup. I'm going to try the brake at 50% at the punch at max 5. Here's a shot of the packs I'm running. These are the Hobby Stars from RC Juice. 5200 milliamp 100C single 4S hard pack. I should add I threw a chunk of foam in the front just to protect the front of the pack during hard impacts. Well, the turning's awesome, guys. Oh, oh, this is too funny. Well, I don't know how much the sway bars are helping, guys, but the truck definitely, it's got great turning with these LPs on there. Man, this thing's smooth, guys. super impressed, guys. This thing handles awesome. That was not good, guys. I might need to back off my brake. Hopefully I didn't blow an arm or a hub, but that was super, super touchy. Oh, geez. All right, guys, I got to stop and go turn down the brake. Again, I'm at the stock setting. I think it's 50%. It's just way too much. Well, guys, it looks like the front end survived that nose bomb. I'm definitely turning my brake down right now to 37.5. Again, I had it at 50%, but I just want to touch on the chassis flex. Again, this telescopic center top race and center drive shaft really absorbs just a ton of impact if you have a bad hit. Oh. Man, that was a serious durability test, guys. It came up short. So far, she's looking okay. Definitely a smooth handler. Oh, wow, that was brutal, guys. This thing is taking a pounding out here. Ooh, damn, guys, it was definitely a bad spot to land. There's a nice little step right onto this steel lid. She's taking a hammering, guys. I'm totally digging the truck, though. So it looks like I'm getting about 130 on the motor and about 133 on the ESC. Definitely helps having the heat sink and the fan, so shout out to ARRMA for that. The stock shock setup's a little bit on the soft side, but so far the transmission's feeling nice and smooth as well. Yeah, it's pretty tough, too. I think it's a boy truck, but I'm not sure. Girls are usually tougher than boys. Oh! Uh-oh. A little bit short. Barely made it around, guys. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it a wrap. Again, it's about 102 out. Super impressed with this new 4S Outcast ARRMA. Huge shout out to them and Horizon for the opportunity to show this. I'll definitely get out in the dirt soon. All right, guys, until next time. Later. What's that? Oh, awesome. I'll see you guys.